Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the third video of the video series, and in this video we're gonna cover the ES6 classes. So why we need to use the classes, what is classes, and how we can use the classes. You can see I have two objects as we usual. We regular create the objects in JavaScript. So here I pass the key name, value name, Joseph, email and password, and online status. So let's see how we can create same objects using the classes. All right, so let me create the class. And create class, we type class and convention user, it's camel case with the camel u, and then curly brackets. Inside the class first go the constructor, and constructor is like a template for our object where we can pass the name, key email, key password, and online status. Okay, in our case, so we want to create the object with these keys. All right, so after we pass the parameters, now we need to use this keyword context. So you can watch the previous video where I explain what this context and in the JavaScript. All right, so we use this, then name, it's gonna be the name. Okay, you can see it's highlighted. All right, so same thing with this that email equal email, and this that password equal password, and for the online status. All right, so you can imagine the constructor as like template for our object. All right, so now let's create the object. We're gonna create object as in here. We're gonna create these two objects using the class user as prototype or as parent. User1 equal, and with the keyword new user, that's how we create a new object. So we create new constructor, and right here you can see the WebStorm suggest me. First goes name, then email, password, and online status. And I'm gonna use Joseph for the name. I'm gonna use Joe the email. Then I'm gonna use the password, and online status is gonna be the false by default. All right, so let me duplicate, and I'm gonna rename. Now I wanna create a second user. So user2, like right here. So the name gonna be the Sophia, the email, and let me add the J in here, and the password. Okay, here's the typos. Okay, it's gonna be Joseph, it's gonna be this password, and for the Sophia gonna be this password, and let's do for the Sophia online status true. Now we can console log the user 1 and user 2. Let me run, and you can see we have user, but you can see here's show me the class name, not the object. So let's guys see in Chrome. So I connect my file classes to the index.html, and to run this I run index.html, and let me open the console, and we can see we have two objects, but it show me the class. Okay, let me open, and we can see the value. And if I open the prototypes, you can see here's a constructor in a proto, and same thing with the second user 2, same thing. In the prototype we can access to the user class. Let's go back, let me close the index. That's how we create the objects using the classes, and we can get access to the constructor and do not repeat ourselves, just create the new objects. Also, we can use the static inside the class. Static, let me create get id method, and let me return and the id like 34. So what's gonna happen? I can't access the static with the object. Let's see. So that get id, and you can see already WebStorm show me this is an error. It's not right. So, and it's telling me static member is not accessible. Okay, not in an object, not in an instance of the user class. But if we change user object to user class, now we can get. Okay, let me run, and right here you can see the id 34. Let's run again. That's how we can get access to the static. Okay, we're gonna talk about the static more and a little bit later in this tutorial. So, okay, so also we can create the methods. Let me create the login and logout message. So I'm gonna create the message when the user online. It's gonna show welcome, name of the user, or if user gonna be offline, it's gonna say like see you soon, blah blah blah. Okay, so let's return and let's create the message. Okay, we're gonna use the Ternary Operators. So we're gonna say if online status, of course I need to use this keyword, online status equal true, then I want to pass this message, welcome this that name, else see you soon, and name of the user, this that name. All right, now let's try to get, let me comment, duplicate user 1, and I want to get the message get, okay, name it log in and log out message. Here's a typo, guys. Okay, now it's good. So now we can check, let's check, and you can see the status of the Joseph, because we console log user 1 and it's named Joseph. It says see you soon Joseph. We're gonna true, run again, welcome. That's how we use the methods. You can write this any code you like. Also in a class we can use getter and setter. So let me show you guys how we can use get. Let's name get id method and return this dot id equal 222. Now we need to pass in a constructor id argument, and right here this dot id equal id. Now let's see if we can get. So let me comment and log user 1 dot get id. We're not gonna use the parentheses because it's not a function. Get is not a function, and let's print. Let's see. Okay, we get the id, and now we also can set the id. So let's use set and set id, and it's method also, and we need to pass the parameter. So we're gonna name it new id, because without parameter it's not gonna work. And now we can return this dot id equal new ID, and in here let me delete the hard-coded ID in here, and now we can add the new ID, set the new ID in here. So user1 dot set ID, for example 678, and now we can get ID. Let's check, and 678. Okay, that's how we set. Let's guys create one more method where I'm gonna get all the information of each users. All right, and I'm gonna print it to the console. We're gonna name it get user info, and we're gonna return right here, and the string I'm gonna use template literals, and we're gonna say right here user name. We're gonna just print everything, this dot name, and user email, this dot email. Okay, and also we're gonna print the ID right here. We're gonna print it on the top, user ID, gonna be this dot ID. All right, so now let's print our message. Let's use this method get user info. Let me copy this. Let me just user1. I'm not gonna comment the ID. I just wanna comment this console log. So new console log user1 dot get user info. Let's print. All right, so let me comment user2. So I'm just gonna see the user1. So here's the info: user ID, name, email, password, and online status is true. And let's do same thing for the user2. Let me create the setter for user2. So we're gonna set the ID of user2. Let me duplicate and change the name to. Let's print. So now we get the information. So, okay, let me change. It's gonna be the ID2, and this is gonna be ID1. Okay, let's see. So okay, so we get user with ID1, all information. Also we see the second object. So you can see guys how the classes are convenient and flexible, and give us more opportunity to extend the objects.